All right. Welcome, guys. Happy Friday. We got 10 games to talk about. This is going to be a pretty chalky slate, right? I think we all know what to do on this one. As far as, I see people tilting stuff like yesterday, the Paul George stuff. That was crazy. Like, you can't get ruled out and then ruled back in. Oh, that was frustrating. Yep. Again, a lot of people landed in the same lineup as me. Some went Bogdan. Some stuck with Morris. I stuck with Morris and was hoping Paul George would be out. It didn't happen. Once he got upgraded to questionable, should I have pivoted to Bogdan or Gallinari? Maybe. But again, hindsight's 20. It is what it is. So a frustrated one for sure. Again, one player away from the big money, one swap, but that's how it goes sometimes. So let's talk about this slate. It's pretty clear cut in what you do with Pelicans, Hawks, right? I think most people do know that. Reggie Bullock, questionable, not really big news. Steph Curry is out. Why, Steph? Just play. I don't want to consider Andrew Wiggins. And I know Wiggins isn't playing well, but I think he's someone we actually do have to look at. Draymond is playing. Donovan Mitchell's also playing as well, so that takes the rest of the Jazz guys out of play. And we got the news, Zion, Ingram, Lonzo, and now Josh Hart all out. So it's basically the exact same situation, but you're going to want even more of the Pelicans, to be honest. So keep an eye on that starting lineup, but it's the same guys, right? It's the guards, with NAW, Bledsoe, Kier Lewis. We have James Johnson, Steven Adams. I'm curious to see who they end up starting for Josh Hart, so keep an eye on that one. Return of IT is coming back. Looks like he's signing a 10-day contract. Also big news, again, Trae Young and Gallinari ruled out. So the Hawks are really shorthanded. So, again, this game, clear stack, right? You're going to want, I would say, at least at the minimum 4 or 5 players from that game. And it's crazy to say that in a 10-game slate, but it's true. You load up on that game and don't think twice. Draymond, Poole is going to start if he does play, and I do think he plays. And that's where we're at right now. So I'm not personally playing him, but I think you can consider him on the slate with no Steph Curry. He's been good. He's been good recently. So, all right, let's refresh this. Don't worry, I am not playing Andrew Wiggins in 7-5, but I do think he's viable. For the non-Andrew Wiggins haters, I do think he's viable. All right, Raptors and Warriors, a 219 over under. Raptors 5.5 point favorites. Mavs, Knicks 211.5 over under. The Mavs are 6-point favorites. We have Celtics and Rockets at 223.5 over under. Some blowout risk here. Celtics 11.5 point favorites. Hornets and Pacers 219.5 over under. The Pacers are 5.5 point favorites. Keep an eye on some bonus news there. T-Wolves Grizzlies. This one should be played at a fast pace. 232.5 over under. Memphis 6-point favorites. Hawks and Pelicans again 212 over under. Pelicans 1.5 point favorites. Both teams so shorthanded there. Bulls and Jazz at 223.5 over under. Jazz 12.5 point favorites. Keep an eye on Levine. Keep an eye on Kobe White news there. Lakers Kings, another one that looks pretty appealing here. 220.5 over under. The Kings are 4.5 point favorites. Bucks Blazers 240.5 over under. The Bucks 3-point favorites. And Thunder Suns 220.5 over under. Suns 13.5 point favorites. All right, so that's where we're at right now. Let's start with the game by game breakdown real quick though, guys. If you're hopping in the stream, if you can hit that like button, it helps me out a lot. We are just cracking over 100 viewers, 21 likes. Again, let's try to reach 100 before the end of the show. So that would be greatly appreciated, guys. Let's start off with Golden State and Toronto. So again, no Steph Curry. Mentioned Wiggins, right? I'm not playing him, but he's viable. He's gone for 46, 47, 38, and 48 fantasy points the last 3 games. And no Steph Curry, he gets a pretty big boost. He's stuffed in the stat sheet. He's getting some blocks, some steals. He's shooting the ball well from 3. Toronto's not the best defensively, so I do think he's in play. Now, again, I'm not playing him, but I think he's someone you can look to on the slate. Draymond Green at 6'7". Honestly, it's a little bit weird. I think he gets a little bit of a boost with Steph Curry in just because, Steph is just like a bucket getter. He'll get a lot of those, Draymond assist. With Steph Curry out, I think Draymond loses some on a potential assist, it seems like. But he's a guy that's going to play mid-30s minutes and has triple-double upside. So I still have some interest in Draymond there in the mid-range. Poole starting at too pricey for me. There's better plays in the mid-range. I know Jordan Poole, one on that stretch where he played really well, but I'm not paying 6-1 for him. Oubre, no thanks to that price, and that's it. I'm not considering the value. There's better value on the slate. So moving on to Toronto. Top 2 guys here, Van Fleet, Siakam, both look pretty solid on the slate with no Kyle Lowry. Not must plays, but both good plays in the mid-range. Van Fleet, going to play close to 40 minutes. Same with Siakam. It was Siakam that had the bust game last game. I'm not super worried about it, though. So the top 2 guys for Toronto look pretty good. And yeah, OG, last couple of games, 36, 48 fantasy points. He's been playing well. The price is slowly coming up on him. I think I would still rather get to Van Fleet and Siakam if you could get the extra salary there. I'm not chasing Gary Trent Jr. I mean, he's not out of play, but again, super light in the scoring. You can take a shot in Boucher. It's just the minutes that frustrate me, right? Only played 19 with Lowry out the last game. So if I knew he was going to play like 25 to 28 minutes, I would actually like him a lot here. But again, the minutes are they're so inconsistent. And value, we just don't have to go there, right? There's just better value plays in the slate. So the only value guys you should consider, honestly, are Pelicans and Hawks. That's it. Like, don't consider value in anyone else. Houston, Boston, Wood, contrarian play, fine. John Wall, keep an eye on that. If he's out, you can take a shot in Kevin Porter Jr. to get different, but there's no priority plays for me here. John Wall himself, if he plays, again, I prefer other spin ups. It's not the best matchup. On the Boston side, not much here. They're fully healthy. I know it's a good matchup. There's some blowout risk here. So like Tatum, Brown, Kemba, secondary options. Robert Williams would probably be the guy for me. He's off the injury report. I think we get around 30 minutes, a good point per minute guy. But still not a priority. There's a lot of good center plays. Dallas and New York. So on the Dallas side, Luka Doncic as a contrarian spend up, don't mind him, right? He's going to go overlooked in the slate, but he's a guy that's going to play mid-30s minutes, a guy that's triple-double upside. I know, again, it's not the best matchup. I think Luka's in play. He's also got the small forward eligibility, which is a little bit nice. No thanks on Porzingis. I mean, it is a revenge game for him against his former team, the Knicks. You know, he's gone for 53, 62, 45, and 42 fantasy points the last 4 games, but I still think I prefer other spend-ups in this one. And the value, there's no way I'm getting to any. Again, you don't play any value plays besides Hawks, Pelicans. You just don't even consider anyone. So yeah, Luka, Porzingis are viable. The top is contrarian options. On the Knicks side, it's basically just Randall for me at 9.6. I do think he goes a little bit overlooked in this one, playing massive minutes. Again, has the triple-double upside too. So like Randall, keep an eye on RJ Barrett. Keep an eye on Derrick Rose too. If they're both out, then yeah, you can make the argument for Burks. You can make the argument for Alfred Payton. You know, Burks, if there's no RJ Barrett, I would think plays 30 to 35 minutes. It's still like he's not that cheap though. And then Alfred Payton, last game, Derrick Rose missed, played 28 minutes, but we know his minutes are never secure. So those are a couple like fringe guys you can maybe look to if you're gonna get really different, but I don't think we have to do it. All right, so that's 3 games up. Where we're at 200 viewers, 42 likes, guys. If you could come in and hit that like button if you enjoy the content, thank you very much. All right, Charlotte and the Pacers. Again, all secondary options here on the Charlotte side. Rozier, Hayward, Graham, they got killed by an undermanned Nets team yesterday. Not necessarily the best matchup, but it's not terrible, but there's just, again, no priorities here. You can look to Rozier, Hayward, tournaments, but there's other better spend-ups I prefer. On the Pacers side, keep an eye on Sabonis. Domantas Sabonis is pretty key here. He's currently questionable. If he does miss, then the top 3 guys with LeVert, Brogdon, Miles Turner are all in play. Miles Turner especially gets a pretty big boost when Sabonis is off the court, so would have some interest in Turner in the mid-range if Sabonis is out. John Wall's out. Okay, so yeah, with John Wall out, you can consider Kevin Porter Jr. I still don't think it's a must play here. I don't. So, yeah, NBA, NFL, and esports is what I play. I played MLB a little bit back in the day, but I don't have at the moment I don't have the time to get into MLB. But yeah, so keep an eye on that one for sure. LeVert, Brogdon. If Sabonis plays, I'm not really looking to either. If Sabonis misses, then I think you can make the argument for both these two, who get a massive usage boost. So. Top 3 guys, if Sabonis is out, if Sabonis is in, probably no one. All right, Minnesota, Memphis. So, Karl-Anthony Towns, there's not a ton to spend up for on this slate. He's playing massive minutes. Like, he's playing close to 40 minutes in close games. All right, he's got triple-double upside, really. The assist, 6, 8, 5, 6, maybe not triple-double, but he's going to most likely get you a double-double. And he's going to probably get you 4, 5, 6 assists. So, and I like the matchup. Jonas Valanciunas, not a good defender. So as long as there's no foul trouble here for Cat, should play close to 40 minutes. I do like Cat at the top. I think you can make the arguments for guys like Edwards, Beasley in tournaments. We know, though, Anthony Edwards, super reliant in the scoring, and same with Malik Beasley. So those two, not out of play, but again, more GBP plays. Last guy I mentioned here is Jaden McDaniels. I think on a normal slate, he would actually be a really popular value play. But you have to ask yourself this question. Are you going to play Jaden McDaniels over Nickeil Alexander-Walker, Eric Bledsoe, any of the rest of the Pelicans guys, Bogdanovich with no Trae Young, no Gallinari, and no John Collins, Lou Williams on the opposite side, right? So I can't get myself to play any value besides in that game. So on a normal slate, I would say yes, he looks pretty good. On this slate, not so much. Memphis, JV and John Moran at the top 7-7, 7-6. I think you can stack this game up. John Morant's been very up and down, so I don't know if I trust it for cash games, but I like that John Morant, Karl Anthony Towns pairing in tournaments. And this game should be played fast. If you want to go JV, he's played 32 minutes in back-to-back games. Now, Brandon Clark is in for this one, so the minutes might go down a bit in JV, which makes him a little riskier. And the value, like I said, we just don't have to do it. Like, yeah, Desmond Bane on a normal slate, if Grayson Allen is out, I would say is actually a pretty good value play. Are you going to play Desmond Bane over Hawks, over Pelicans? The answer is no. All right, Chicago, Utah. On the Chicago side, keep an eye on Levine, Kobe White. If they're both in, nothing. If they're both out, then, again, like Williams, Denzel Valentine on a normal slate would look pretty good. I still would rather have the Hawks and Pelicans value. But those guys would become more playable, maybe like late slate plays, like guys like Satoransky, Denzel, Patrick Williams. Those guys all would get a pretty big boost. But I just have a hard time going to any value besides the Pelicans Hawks. On the Utah side, it's pretty simple, really. It is pretty simple. There is absolutely nothing for me. Mitchell, if you want to get different, he's been pretty good. I think I prefer other spin-ups in the slate, but hey, Donovan Mitchell has a lot of upside, and this is a good matchup. So Mitchell will probably be the guy if I'm going to pick one guy in Utah, but I'm still not really excited about much here. All right, so we got 4 games left. Let's refresh Fan Slabs. Let's make sure we're up to date. We got about 20 minutes left in the stream, so we got some time here. No rush. John Wall out. Yeah, again, so Kevin Porter Jr. is viable. Ricky Rubio, questionable. All right, let's circle back there really quick. If he's out, I would think McLaughlin starts at 3-2. If Rubio's out, McLaughlin starts. I could actually see playing him. Basically a min-price guy starting at point that should play 25 to 30 minutes. So that's one where it's like, okay, I could see getting to him if he starts for Ricky Rubio. So that's one you can't talk. You can keep eye on. Now we got the big game, right? Atlanta, New Orleans. You're going to want at least 4 players. At the minimum 4 in this game. At the minimum. So no Trae Young. No John Collins, no Gallinari, no Hunter, no Cam Reddish. Start at the top with Clint Capella. Well, again, without John Collins, he gets a massive boost. My one concern is he played 44 minutes last night in double overtime game. So do they limit him a little? Possibly. I think it's a possibility. So that's my one concern with Clint Capella. But I think he's a guy that looks like a really good play at the top. Bogdan Bogdanović. Again, played 45 minutes. Do I think they limit him? Probably not. But with no Trae Young and all his other guys out, I think Bogdan, one of the best plays of the slate. Gone for back-to-back huge games of 45 and 49 fantasy points. He's going to be like the number one on offense. He is. So love Bogdan Bogdanović. Kevin Huerter, usually a guy I don't like playing. But on this slate, with all these guys out, yeah, you can look to Huerter for sure. Huerter playable. And then I think Lou Williams is also in play. Only played 22 minutes the last game. I'm thinking we get more from him. Now, the one risk with Lou Williams is we've only seen one game so far with this Hawks team. So, like, could they still only play him like 20 minutes again? Maybe. And they go to, like, other, value or other, guys on the bench. Like guys like Tony Snell, Solomon Hill. They're going to soak up minute. 44 minutes and 13 fantasy points. No, I am not playing Tony Snell. And I'm not playing Solomon Hill either. These are just guys that are going to get minutes, but they're not productive minutes. So, and in this slate, there's just it doesn't make sense to waste a roster spot in a low usage guy like either of them. Now, I am curious of who starts a point guard. Do they maybe move a guy like Brandon Goodwin in? Maybe if he starts, I could see playing him. Okongo got some backup 5 run. He played 12 minutes. Maybe he plays a little bit more with, again, that game going to double overtime. But the priorities here, obviously, are not priorities, but the guys that look really good. Capella, Bogdan, Huerter, Lou Williams. Those are the 4 guys I like the best. And on the Pelican side, so I mentioned, hey, you should play at least 3 Pelicans last night. I played 4. I think it's basically the same scenario again. And we also have no Josh Hart now. So, Nickeil Alexander-Walker, 6.2K. Absolutely love him at that price. Eric Bledsoe. I had people telling me, oh, he's washed. Sure, he's not that good of a player right now. It doesn't matter, right? Who cares? When all these guys are out, who cares if he's not, a top tier player. So NAW, Bledsoe, absolutely love both. Steven Adams at 5'2" is probably going to get mid-30s minutes. I think he's a fair play. Kira Lewis at 3'7", played 33 minutes last game. Again, I want to see what they do with the starting lineup, but I think he's one of the best value plays of the slate. Jackson Hayes, not so much, right? He's not really going to play alongside Steven Adams, so I'm not super interested there. Again, told you guys about James Johnson. If he started, I was playing him. Well, he started. He played 28 minutes, and he got 28 fantasy points. So love James Johnson, again, at the flat min price. Wesson Wundo is probably going to play more. Not a great point per minute guy, but you can throw him in there. I would prioritize James Johnson, though, over him. Some other guys are probably going to soak up some minutes, but I just don't think we have to get that cute, right? I think if you get to anyone else besides those guys I mentioned, it's just getting too contrarian. You don't want to do it. So those are the guys I'm looking to on the Pelicans side. Load up for sure. All right, let's move on. We are at almost 300 viewers, 71 likes, guys. One more time, I'll ask if you do enjoy the content to hit that like button, please. It really does help me out more than you know. All right, Milwaukee and Portland. So is this finally the get-right game for Giannis? I don't know. I've been trying to buy in on him because I was like, okay, people are going to box score watch. He's had a couple of bad games in a row. He's not going to continue to play this bad. And he continues to play bad. So is this finally the get-right game in a 240 over-under against Portland that plays very little defense? I think there's a good chance he has a really good game, but hey, he's burned me now back-to-back slate. So again, he's not going to continue to average like 30 to 40 fantasy points. We're going to see a big Giannis game coming up soon. Is it tonight? Maybe. If you think he continues to struggle, again, it's Middleton and Drew. Drew especially has been playing out of his mind recently. 47, 56 fantasy points. Do have some interest in him as a contrarian play. Value, again, don't have to go there. Portland, Dame is contrarian spend up. You can do a Dame Giannis stack. I think that's fine. Dame is definitely a little bit overpriced. Not a cash game play, but I think you can look to him for tournaments. CJ's also been pretty consistent. 40, 49, 44 fantasy points. Both the Portland guards are in play because it's a very up-tempo game. Again, neither are cash game plays, though. And value, there's nothing here. There's nothing here. Nurkic, keep an eye on this. If there's no minutes limit for Nurkic, then I could see him being a viable play. But if he continues to play only 20 minutes, I don't have a ton of interest in him. All right, 2 games left. Lakers and the Kings. This is another game that I like a good amount. This is my second favorite game besides Atlanta and New Orleans. Lakers, amazing matchup against the Kings. No LeBron, no AD, no Drummond. So it's back to square one here. It's Kuzma, Schroeder, Harrell, all three look really solid. Kuzma, Schroeder should play mid-30s minutes in the best possible spot. I do like both, even at 7-2 and 7-1. Again, these guys are just in a smash spot. Harrell, they've been bumping up the minutes of the other centers, right, with Gasol and Drummond. So maybe he doesn't play 35. Maybe he only plays about 30, but still he can get it done in that time. So again, the top 3 guys viable. If you can't afford, the top 3, I think you could settle Markieff, who's played 27, 32, and 29 minutes, but I would rather get to those other Lakers I talked up. THT, no. Marc Gasol, no. Keep an eye on Wes Matthews. If he's out, you can maybe consider like Caruso on the late slate. Again, on the main slate, just don't play any other value besides Hawks and Pelicans, but that's what I got there. On the Sacramento Kings side, so I do kind of like De'Aaron Fox as a contrarian play. He had a bad game last game. But again, I like this game as part of a game stack. Previous games, 44, 55, 63, 50, 49 fantasy points, playing massive minutes, can stuff the stat sheet. Do like De'Aaron Fox below 9K. I think Holmes is a GPP play as well, as long as he stays out of foul trouble. He'll probably push for 40 fantasy points in like 35 minutes with upside of 50 plus. We've seen it from him a lot. So the top 2 guys look pretty decent. Barnes, Halliburton, Hield. Not much else here. If I had to pick one guy in the mid-range, it would be Halliburton, but I don't love the price. All right, last game. This will be this one will be pretty quick. OKC Phoenix, not much here. Moses Brown, if you want a contrarian play, has been a pretty solid point per minute guy. We'll probably get close to double. Not a priority though for me. Roby, Maladon, Svi, Kendrick Williams, Pokusevski. No, don't have to go there. Again, Pokusevski back limits minutes for guys like Svi, Kendrick Williams. There's not much here, and Phoenix is good defensively. On the Phoenix side, not much either. Top 3 guys you can look to as contrarian plays: Booker, Paul, Ayton. Jay Crowder's an all right value play in a normal slate. On this slate, though, no. So pretty simple. Not much in that game. All right, so that is what I got, guys. Let's refresh Fan Slabs. Let's make sure we're up to date, and we can get some questions here. All right, we got about a little over 10 minutes for some questions, so throw them in chat. Yeah, Wiggins or Holmes. If it was me, I still play Holmes. Just if I roll, I won't play Wiggins again. But Wiggins has been playing really well, so I think Wiggins might be the slightly safer play, as weird as that sounds. Lemon Pepper Lou, yeah, I have interest. I have interest for sure. He only played 22 minutes. My worry is, do they only limit him to like mid-20s minutes? Possibly. Like, he's an older veteran. I don't know if he's going to go out. Lou is going to go out and play like 30 minutes unless he starts. Unless Lou Williams starts. Atlanta and New Orleans and Lakers, yeah, that looks good to me. Yeah, Capella or Ja. It's tough because my one concern about Capella, do they limit his minutes a little bit because of the double overtime game? Possibly. So for that reason, maybe Ja might be slightly safer, even though Ja's been very up and down. Top 4 players from OKC and Thunder. Depends how you're playing it. I think Moses Brown on the OKC side, probably Roby, Moses Brown and Roby, and then like one of the guards in Ayton for the Suns. Capella or Fred for DK Cash. Yeah, Cat's fine. Again, my one concern with Capella is just slightly limited minutes, so maybe Fred is a little bit safer. But I love the ups. If Capella plays 35 minutes again tonight, I love his upside. Van Fleet or McCollum, I'll lean Van Fleet there. And 3,700 for utility is Keir Lewis 3,700. Yeah, Keir Lewis. Favorite 2 of Randall, Porzingis, Wood, or Siakam? Randall and Siakam. How do I play Towns at 10-8 over Capella at 7-8? Yeah, it's tough. That's a tough one. Towns a little bit more pricey there in FanDuel. 6,000 for utility. Turner if there's no Sabonis. If not, then Bogdanovich. No, Bogdan either way, I think. Bogdan either way at 5-7. Bledsoe, Lewis, Johnson, Siakam, Williams. Okay, which Williams? Right, there's a lot of Williams. I'm guessing that's James Johnson too. Yeah, Schroeder, a little pricier on FanDuel. Don't like that as much. Like him better on DraftKings. Noel, Lou, or Herter for Turney. I want to see the Atlanta starting lineup. If Lou starts, it's Lou. If not, then maybe Herter. Lillard or Fox? Fox. Play Wiggins confirmed. Yeah, I'm not playing him, so he'll probably go for 50. Luka or Giannis? I like the matchup better for Giannis, even though he's been bad. Core of Giannis, Luka, Randall, Boucher, viable. Yeah, I think that's fine. How do you feel about NAW, Bledsoe, Bogdan, James Johnson, Capella, Kevin Porter Jr., McDaniels, and Towns? Okay. Yeah, I'm all right there. Again, you're playing McDaniels. I think on a normal slate, that looks really good. And this slate, though, not as good. Like, you have only one Hawk, right? You have 2 Hawks, Bogdan and Capella. I need to see what they do with the starting line. But, like, Herter, Lou Williams both look really good here. Schroeder or Wiggins? Schroeder for me. Yeah, I think that's the way to go. Are you playing Capella? Right now I have him in, but that's not confirmed. Like, I'm not confirmed going to play him. He is in my preliminary build, though. Yeah, Halliburton's all right. I don't think he's a priority, though. Fox and Capella, Rob Williams and Towns. Give me Fox and Capella. Poole's out. Thoughts on Nico? Yeah, if Nico starts, you could make the argument. But the thing is, I really just don't want to deal with the headache of Steve Kerr. Steve Kerr will do something weird and play like some random guy instead of Nico Mannion for like 30 minutes. And that's just what he always trolls DFS players. Booker or Paul? Booker if you're shooting for the upside, right? If you're going for that upside, it's Booker. Paul's a little bit of a safer play. Upside-wise, though, Booker. Keir Lewis and Fred VanVleet or Siakam to Herter. That's tough. Oof. I like both options. Basic coin flip for me. I need to see the Pelicans starting lineup. I need to see the Hawks starting lineup. So, like, if Keir Lewis starts, I have more confidence in him. I think Herter starts either way. So right now, it's a little. I can't say without seeing the starting lineup. Lou and Kuzma, Kira. Yeah. So I I would say the safer one there. Upside-wise, like the first one, but I'm a little bit worried that Lou Williams only plays like 20 minutes again. So second one might be a little bit safer. Yeah, Pelicans, Hawks. Pelicans, Hawks, load up. Pretty simple slate. Bogdan, James Johnson, you need a forward at 5,100. You might have to rearrange then. Let's see. Do we have anything here? You could play Markieff Morris. I think he's playable. I don't love the play, but in that range, or you can go to McDaniels. I would say one of those two guys. Pick two of Herter, Lou, and NAW. So right now, I would say the safer option is NAW and Herter. And the reason is Lou Williams is a veteran. He only played 22 minutes the last game. If Lou Williams starts, though, I'll probably prioritize him over Herter. So keep an eye on that one. 4.2K for Poole on FanDuel. That's in play if he starts. Yeah, for sure. Game time decision. I think I have 6 right now. Booker, Paul. Yeah, again, so I talked about that. Jaylen Brown or Middleton and DK. Honestly, I don't think you can play either in this one. I don't. If I had to pick one, Middleton's blowout risk in the other game. Thoughts on Montrez? So, Marc Gasol, the centers for the Lakers have been playing a little bit more besides Harrell. So maybe Harrell only plays about 30 minutes. But I like his upside in an up-tempo game. Now, Ja or Holiday, Ja, Luka, Herter, Lou, or Capella, Dennis. Probably the second one. Yeah, it's gonna be a chalk slate. Jay Crowder, Bridges, Crowder. Fade Lou Williams for cash games. Yeah, if Lou Williams doesn't start, my concern is he only plays like 20-ish minutes. DK about to hit 1,000 vids in the channel. Congrats, thanks for help. I appreciate that. Yeah, am I getting close to 1,000? Did not know that. 5 too much? No, that's not too much. You could play 7. You can honestly play 7. I'm serious. Now, I don't think salary-wise you would probably have too much salary left over, but you could play 7. I think 4 to 6. 4 to 6 is where you should be. NAW, James Johnson, Bledsoe, Lou Williams, Bogdan, Herter, then Luka. And yeah, looks great. Nah, it's not too chalky. I mean, it's a chalky slate. I'm eating. When the chalk's good, I'm not getting different, right? And the chalk is good tonight. The chalk is Pelicans, Hawks, and it's good chalk. Sometimes there's bad chalk, and that's what I'll avoid. Tonight's good chalk. Bledsoe, NAW, Bogdan. Yep, I like it. Sabonis is out. Really, like, this slate is going to come down to like 1 or 2 players, right? Because everyone's going to play the same guys, so it's like not a super fun slate because everyone knows what to do, I think. So it's going to be really popular slate. Like, we're going to have, like, in cash games, there's going to be guys like 100% owned. Sabonis is out. Brogdon, no, definitely not a lock. Definitely not a lock. He would look pretty solid, though. You still have Kuzma, Schroeder, Fred VanVleet, Siakam with undermanned teams and great matchups. Yeah, VanVleet and Towns or Clinton Towns. I would say, again, I think Fred VanVleet might be a little bit safer because Capella, I'm worried they might limit his minutes a bit, but Capella for the upside. Kevin Porter Jr., McDaniels, or Lou Williams and Kuzma. Lou and Kuzma for sure there. You want Chalk and Cat, Schroeder or Brogdon if Sabonis is out. Probably still Schroeder for me. It will be close. Poole in, Draymond starting. Okay. Yeah, Kuzma or Schroeder's basically a coin flip. I guess if I had to pick Kuz. Bledsoe, NAW, Brogdon, Kuz. Yeah, looks great. Looks great. Capella and Levert or Luka Lou. Assuming Sabonis sits. Probably the first one then. Ayton or Draymond? Draymond. Oh, 999 videos. Wow. You're man of the people. Thank you for the time. Of course. Are a bunch of Pelicans and Hawks good for tournaments? Yeah. Yeah, you don't just because they're chalk, you don't avoid them in tournaments. They're the best plays of the slate. Bridges or Roby? DiVincenzo's low owned late night hammer. On the late slate, maybe. On the late slate, maybe, not in the main. Giannis or Cat? That's a tough one. Giannis has really not been playing well, but I feel like he's gotta bounce back soon. Cat, on the other hand, has been playing phenomenal. The minutes are there. It's a tough one. Point per dollar, I might lean Cat. But I think we got to get Giannis big game soon. Boucher tonight. He might only play 20 minutes. You never know, though. He could play like 25 to 30. If that's the case, like Boucher becomes a really good play. So it's risk reward factor with Boucher. Yeah, Brogdon or Dennis again. Someone just asked that. It's almost a coin flip. I think I might still lean the Lakers guys, but that's close. Grayson Allen in. Okay. Siakam or Kuzma? Give me Kuz. NAW Lewis, Bogdan, Johnson, J-Val. Okay. All right, you're playing Rob Williams. Different. All right. Any forwards you like besides James Johnson? Bogdan Bogdanovic. Depends what range, right? At the top, we have Luka and Giannis. Those are probably guys you want to look to. Mid-range, Kuzma, Holmes. Value or mid-range also Bogdan. Then value, you got James Johnson. You could look to McDaniels. Normal slate, who'd look really good. This slate, not as good. Yeah, LeVert or Brogdon? I think I'll go Brogdon if I had to pick there. Because Brogdon usually will do a little bit more of the peripheral. Siakam or Draymond? That's a tough one. I'll go Siakam because he had a bad game last game, but I like both. Yeah, value forwards besides James Johnson, not a ton. I mean, you can consider Weston Mundo at mid-price, but like I think you're capping yourself, right? And this is just a weird slate where it's like the value guys you're playing, like you should be aiming, if you're playing a guy like 3 to 4K, you should be aiming for at least 30 fancy points. Like you need the huge upside guys. You don't need a value guy that goes out and gets you like 18 fancy points. Right? If you play a mid-price guy and you get 18 fancy points tonight, you're going to lose. So that's why, like, considering like anyone else that doesn't have a ton of upside, like guys like Solomon Hill, Tony Snell, Weston Wundu, I'm just shooting for the better point per minute guy. So I just don't think it's necessary, right? The value is with the Pelicans, with the Hawks, and that's it. Just don't get cute with this one. No one Oubre for me. Siakam over Wiggins. Again, my worry with Capella is limited minutes after a double overtime game. Yeah, Pushevsky's playing NAW. Yep. Should I add Adams? You don't have to add Adams. I don't know if his role necessarily changes a ton. He'll probably play mid-30s minutes. He's fine play. He's a fine play, Adams. Not for me, Desmond Bane. You don't have to go there. Again, normal slate, yeah. Bane, McDaniels, look good value plays. This slate, no. Right? We have value is Herter, Lou Williams, other Hawks guys, NAW, Bledsoe, Kira Lewis, James Johnson. Don't get cute. Just don't get cute. All right, guys, one more minute here. NAW Bledsoe. Yeah, that looks great. Rob or Brogdon? Right now, Robert, if Sabonis gets out, Sabonis gets without Brogdon. Moses Brown or Booker? Booker, if you can get to him. NAW Herter, Boggy, James. Yeah, looks great. All right, you got Giannis and Luka in there with the Pelicans Hawks. Perfect. Any love for Christian Wood? As contrarian spot up, you can look to him with no John Wall. Viable for tournaments, but I would rather spend all the way up. Like the chalk build is you probably get to one or two of Giannis, Luka, Cat at the top, and then maybe one or two mid-range guys with like Kings or Lakers and Raptors, right? Van Fleet, Siakam, Schroeder, Kuzma, Harrell, and then you just go Pelicans Hawks. It's a pretty clear-cut one. Middleton or KHG. I'm guessing that's Kuzma. Yep, Kuzma over Middleton for me. Kuzma there as well, Rakan. Bullock in doesn't do much. Yeah, Knicks are out of play then besides Randall. OG or Siakam. Poole and Capella or Harrell and Ja. I'm not really looking to Poole. At that price, so give me Harrell, Ja. Yeah, I think Kuzma can have a big game tonight. Pokusevski or Pat Williams. Price doesn't matter, Pokusevski. Paul or Moses Brown. Moses Brown there. Yeah, I don't know if Luka's going to be super popular. I don't. Yep, I think I'll lead Moses over Paul for the upside. All right, guys, so let's refresh Fantasy Labs one more time. Make sure we're up to date and everything, and then I'm going to call it a day here. Again, Bullock in, D-Rose in, Barrett in. Besides Randall, there's no one I have interest in on the Knicks. And Randall just more of a contrarian play too. Draymond start, Poole in. Still waiting on Sabonis news. Still waiting on Ricky Rubio news. So, all right, guys, that's going to do it for the stream. Have a great rest of your Friday. Good luck tonight, and I'll see you guys back here for another stream tomorrow.